rpgforyouandme presents Neon Heat, an actual play duet podcast using the Savage Worlds system in our custom cyber fantasy setting. It's been a labor of love creating it for the past several years, and we hope you enjoy.
Previously on Neon Heat. Athena does damage control on her escort mission, getting Bolt back to the Spire. They're fixed up by Roja once they return, and some very important lab work is started. Athena attempts to assist Roja with some autopsies from the day prior, but is rendered useless by her own unexpected squeamishness, and instead goes to ask Rasmus if they could requisition a mind shield augment for Bolt. Zidal returns from the scene of the mob with the information that Laverna has escaped. After which, he and Athena proceed to Escarglow to have a quiet place for him to delve into her mind and hopefully be brought up to speed on the conspiracy. Athena's hopes come crashing down around her as she wakes up from his memory dive, handcuffed, and in an interrogation room.
So, I brought you here. Here's what I know. You're lying about a lot. Quite a bit.
Yep, I'm lying about a lot.
You are not who you say you are. Or this
No,
fabrication.
I'm who I say I am.
Shut up. You ain't who you say you are. We're gonna run out of time. I don't have a chance to look through 7 years of your nonsense. This city is upside down, and it's been getting worse since I got here, and it's been getting worse since you got here, so something is going on. What does the Oculus have to do with all this?
I don't know. I thought he was doing all the things that I ran away from. When I left, I thought he was the one that dropped Joel down the incinerator, and I think it's a mind control cult. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to figure it out.
You think Silas dropped...
No.
What?
No, not Silas. Jex.
Okay.
Davith.
Alright. Forget about that one.
I don't know what Silas is up to, but I'm very suspicious. Obviously.
I don't know Jex Davith. That was before my time. I only know Silas.
Jex was the Oculus when I left.
I know who he is.
Okay, cool.
I don't know him. There was a lot of violence. You were never a slave. That's pretty friggin' clear. So much eating. The eating
God,
and the... Ugh.
Sorry,
disgusting.
I did warn you I eat a lot.
Just like a giant duffel bag of meat, stuffing more meat. Alright, sorry, that one's on me. That was a waste of time. You got about 30 seconds to convince me that you are not a threat and that you're not trying to kill me or anything like that. What is your game? What's going on, Athena?
I just want to know what's happening in the city, and I want to stop. I just want to stop what's going on. I don't know. I just want to protect the people I love from bad things that seem to be coming in from every angle. And I got nothing. I don't know how to do any of this by myself. That's why I ran away, and I tried to learn, and I came back, and I'm not ready for any of this.
And what do you think is going on here?
I think someone is using the city. I don't know. Why did Joel walk down? Why did he do it if he wasn't mind controlled? I don't understand. Do you got anything?
And you say that, and I think he's got his arms crossed, and he's sort of, rolling his fingers on his sleeve, thinking, well, I know things have been pretty friggin' weird over the last couple of years, on a downhill slide. Do I have any answers? No, I don't. But, shit. You swear you're not trying to kill me?
Yeah.
Alright. He steps away from the wall, and as you watch, the scene just completely dissolves around you, and you find that you are actually still just sitting in escargot with your hands tied actually behind your back.
I think she
And
falls
it's just like a weird,
forward.
like...
Ugh.
It's like a weird fire sort of licking at the image. It just sort of like peels away and just dissolves completely.
Cool.
And he's still standing there with his arms crossed, tapping his feet, and says, "So that's how you're gonna handle this sort of thing? Just, hey, look inside my head. Just look 7 years ago. I don't know what you're looking for."
Did it work?
I don't know yet. I really don't know. This is a whole pile of nonsense. This is a whole big barrel of fucked up that I didn't sign up for. So real talk, do you actually think somebody messed with your head?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It was in the last week since I got back, because Roja did my intake and she looked at me with her, her second eyes with the infrasight. Looked normal. Looked at me the other day. Fucked up. Just like my friend Pavi, who also got her brain fucked with within the past several months. I don't know what's going on. I need to know who knows what I knew about stuff and things, because if it was someone bad, then everybody's in danger. And I don't know what to do.
I think there's rarely a situation in which altering someone's mind and memories is a beneficial thing, just as, food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Food for thought and thoughts of food. She
Yes.
offers.
Yeah, sure. And he runs his hand through his wiry hair and says, "So you worried about some sort of conspiracy thing happening? And you just going around conscripting people against their will? Just sort of roping them in? Is that your master plan? To save the city is to just get as many people mixed up in your business as you can and hope it all works out for the best?"
Well, to be fair, Bolt kind of mixed you up in it, and then I was like, hey, maybe he can help with my brain stuff, and I didn't think that far ahead.
So, just to be clear, Bolt, Mr. Wonderbolt, had nothing to do with this situation, so don't try to pawn that off. That pisses me off.
Sorry.
He's an idiot, but
Yeah.
he didn't do this. You did this. Take ownership.
I did this.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know that. It's a little too late to take ownership, because I just told you that it was your fault.
Yeah.
So, not a good way to go around, getting support is tricking people into joining your little entourage by being like, hey, now you know about it, maybe you're target too. Congratulations, you joined the team.
I mean, if you don't want to help anymore, you can just leave.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I can just walk away from this scot-free now that I know about some crazy conspiracy that's got a stranglehold on the city that seems to somehow involve you as the focal point and now is, tying the rest of us into. So, well done. Yeah, just woof. Really, really great. Really wonderful. Real Wonderbolt. I think he kicks a chair.
Please don't do that.
Don't do what?
My grandma made that one.
He goes over and picks it up, plops it back, puts a hand over his eyes. Alright, look. I'm sorry. I get it. Sorta. I don't. But, oh boy. I am probably not the guy that you want backing you up on this.
I don't have a lot of options, man.
Yeah, I can see that. So, sorry, I'm sort of having trouble processing all this right now.
I think she uses shape metal to get out of the cuffs.
Sure.
If she could.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
7.
Okay, that activates it. You need to... I guess this is going to be an attack on the handcuffs. I'll say the hardness is probably... It's probably like an 8. So it would be your strength plus... I'd say plus a d6. Strength being the d10.
10.
Okay, so a 10 is better than the hardness of 8, so you do... How do you destroy them? Do you just, like, bend it out so that you...
Bend out of them.
Okay, yeah, you can do that pretty easily.
Just fix them as I'm sitting there.
Yeah, and he looks down and says, oh, yeah, no, of course.
I don't think I could have done that if I woke up, though. If I just woken up, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
He just waves a hand. He's like, man, I am not as good at this job as I think I am, if that did not occur to me.
You don't know what I could do with that, right?
And he sort of looks at you like, I mean, I know what you're capable of. It's even more so now, huh?
Yeah.
Well, given the fact that I can't turn a blind eye to this sort of thing, and that I now seem to be directly involved in it, what's your plan?
I think she laughs a little bit. She still doesn't really have a good one.
Saddle up, huh? Is that sort of the thing? Round up a posse, go around blowing things up?
No, I don't want to blow
Sounds familiar.
I don't want to blow anything up. I just want to find out what's going on. I want to know why Rasmus and Reitz are fucked up in the head, why Silas doesn't seem to have any tampers going on. That's why I can't go to him about this, because he's involved.
I think, for the purposes of story and stuff, I'm going to say that you're able to fill him in on, like, the bullet points of
the broad
what
strokes
you've been sharing with people, if that's your intention.
Yeah.
So we can assume he's either seen that in your memories, or you just fill him in now so he can have that knowledge and we can just skip past it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, I gotta look again.
Okay.
You gonna be okay with that?
Yeah.
Alright, lay back and think of Alera.
I'd rather just think about Caldonics.
And he'll roll 6 and a 4. Success. Just like last time, you slip back into your memories, and it's a collage of images and perspective from you, know, your old memories. These are all centered on the past week and a half, 2 weeks. So I think we get images again of Isaac, Pavi, Roja, everybody you've interacted with. We see a couple of stills from when you were at Strickland's Manor, and you fought him. There's a clip of him. There's one of Benicia. It skips past that. We see the trip into the city. We see fleeting moments. I don't think I need to list all of them out there, but we see Silas, and we see you walking into the meeting with him, and him, you know, going through the motions and doing all those things. And then we skip past that, and we see Bolt and everything else. It jumps back to the night that you saw Joel die, and we have another shot of, you know, the orange eyes transposed right next to each other, and then it pulls back out in your chair again. It's Escar glow. There's nothing strange about this. And Zadal has a hand over his face and turns around and walks towards the window and is sort of peers through the blinds across the Mobius strip and stands there with his arms crossed, not saying anything at first. If you don't break the silence, he does eventually turn around and take a couple of clinking steps back and says, I got about 1,000,001 questions. Just as far as everything is concerned, close as I can tell, it was the Oculus. It was Silas.
What did he do to me?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's strong. It's pretty firmly ingrained in your consciousness. I think I need to do a little bit of digging and research into. I ain't ever seen anything quite like this before.
Oh, good.
I never dealt with this.
I was worried this would be easy.
I am concerned that if I try to go in and poke at this too hard, that something will happen. And given that we don't know what's going on or what any of this means, I would rather keep you as... And he sort of like smushes you together in the air. I'd like to keep
intact
that as close to it is now as possible, especially considering if you go cuckoo bananas crazy and die or something. I mean, maybe the trail ends there, but then I still got this whole conspiracy hanging over me, and I am not any better equipped to handle this by myself than you are. So, I'll do some research, I'll do some digging, we'll try to figure this out, Athena. But, until then, you just gotta hang on.
Okay.
Listen, it's either that or we flip a coin and maybe you die, maybe I die, maybe nothing happens. I don't know, but...
Well, I don't really want to risk that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, every day is kind of a risk for me right now. I think she bites her bottom lip really hard as she's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him doing... I mean, of course I don't remember him doing anything, because why would I? Why would I remember? His brains are dumb!
Yeah. Brains are dumb. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe it's, it could be an implanted suggestion. It could be a modified memory. It could be obfuscating something. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know.
So he did something to Pavi too, then?
If it's, yeah, presumably yes. If it looks the same as what you said, you know, if Ms. Roja took a look at you and said it looked the same as her, probably yes. Might not be, but probably. Usually there's trace. It's like a signature, you know. It's like a pattern. Everybody's mind is different. Everybody reacts differently, but usually, you know, so a psionic, you know, like myself or like the Oculus, is a trace for you know, permanent type things.
Oh boy. This is just a super cool thing to finally find out. She's hugging herself and she is shaking with like adrenaline a bit.
Sure.
And she does not know what to do.
I wish I had bad news for you.
I mean, it's... news was from my brain, right? Like...
I mean, yes.
I think...
that's where the papers are printed, but I'm the newsboy who went in to pull one out and say extra, extra.
Those eyes, though? I was thinking maybe Jex got dropped down that hole, too. But what if he's still out there doing stuff?
What do you mean?
I don't know. There's a lot of orange going on, and his orange...
And it's a color. it's a color, Athena.
I get that, but I haven't had a good night's sleep in about 7 years, because I keep seeing his orange spooky glasses, and then I wake up and I'm very sweaty, and it's terrible every night. Even though I know he's not around anymore.
Is it every night?
It is every night.
Okay, then he knows this.
I feel like this is... What are they trying to cover something up? Was Joel like a sacrifice thing? I don't know.
I have no more information than you do, unfortunately. But people that I saw in there, Davith, who he's been gone for a couple of years now, I think that was before my time, but Rasmus, she's still around.
She's still around. I talked to her today.
Yeah?
Yeah, seems normal, but she's tampered.
And I think he pauses and he's counting on his fingers. How many others? There was the one...
4 cloaked,
4...
Jex, Rasmus.
Yeah. So at least 4 other individuals. Oh man, we are well and truly fucked.
Yeah.
Well, there's you, there's me, there's your friends,
Well,
what's
the one friend mostly.
What do you mean?
Roj is pretty non-committal about the whole thing, which I totally get and respect.
Sure, but you brought her into the fold, so to speak, same as me. Yeah, she didn't really have a choice then, does she?
Well, she was gonna find out eventually, and I was really afraid she would just turn me in if she didn't have the full picture, and I can't have that happen.
So, if I might be so bold and selfish in this moment we're sharing here, how many more people are you gonna steamroll or, you know, for the greater good, pull into the fold and, you know, make that choice for him?
I don't want to make choices for anybody. I don't know.
Well, you say that, and yet here we are. So, for somebody who claims to hate conspiracies and subterfuge, you're doing a pretty decent job yourself.
Well, maybe I don't like myself that much.
I mean, I don't have to be a mind reader to tell you that.
I think she bobs her head a bit and frowns.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you want help, if your intention here is to try to fix things and make things better, then you're gonna have to find a better way to do this. You're gonna have to do a better job of feeling people out.
Yeah. I was thinking about...
This could have blown up in your face.
Oh, I know.
Real bad.
I know.
And I gotta be honest.
You know that I know, man.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the only things that's keeping me here right now is the fact that I'm now implicated in this. So it's sort of like a weird blackmail that is happening. Like, I'm on. Don't get me wrong. I'm on board. This is sort of my purpose. You know, I chose this profession for myself using, you know, my own mind and information. So, you know, I want to help, but doesn't feel good to be tricked into it when you're trying to do somebody a favor. And I get it. I get you trying to do the right thing and you don't have a lot of options, but...
What would you have done?
I probably would have gathered information over a longer period of time, you know, sort of felt the person out, and then eventually, you know, wrote smaller topics like, hey, how do you feel about, what if I told you things aren't what they seem like? Hey, maybe, you want to help me clean up the city type thing. However you want to dress it up, I don't know. Maybe I'm just
think that would have worked.
Talking out my ass. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I ain't gonna decide tonight. This has been another fun day. So if that's all, I think I'll be on my way, or I don't know. Is it safe for me to walk outside? Am I gonna die? Is somebody gonna hit me with a car or something? Fly out of the sky with a hoverboard? I don't even know.
I mean, maybe I should just...
Yeah, so we covered a lot of ground here, but I am pretty well spent, and I would like to go and get some rest and think about my life for however long left I have to do that.
I feel like seeing all of her memories really fresh is catching up with her, and I think she just puts her head in her hands, and I think she just starts openly weeping.
Oh, jeez.
That's what Athena's doing right now. She has not given herself the luxury of a good cry in a very long time. Maybe a 7 years long time.
She hasn't cried for 7 years?
I mean, she probably cried a little bit, but like not like a big one. But
Okay.
she just saw like her whole life in just a second.
Bits and pieces, yeah.
But I don't know, there's a lot going on, and she's got a lot of really complicated shit she's dealing with, so I think she's just sitting in the chair crying.
I think she begins to weep, and Zadal, you're not looking at him, so you don't see what he's doing. I think there's silence from him, and then you know, his feet clink a little bit as he walks over, and I think he puts a hand on her shoulder and gives her a little squeeze, maybe pats it a little bit, and says,
We'll get things figured out.
and then maybe if she doesn't do anything else, he's probably just gonna walk to the door and be like,
I'll see myself out. Maybe talk to you tomorrow or something.
I don't think she responds.
just keeps crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another pause as he's at the door, and then he pushes it open, and is there any kind of bell, like a rattle?
I think there's
or...
a little bell. Yeah.
And there's that little chime as he exits, and the door slides closed with a... And Athena is left weeping in the middle of Escarglow, alone.
Athena's plan is to cool off for a hot sec. Maybe go back and poorly chop some vegetables while she's cooling down.
Maybe some onions.
Maybe some onions.
Imagine Athena like...
She's having a rough night. I think she like puts it in a Tupperware and puts it in the big fridge with a little note that says, "Love you, couldn't sleep," or something like that.
Nice.
And heads on home once her general shit is less overtly distraught.
I would like you to roll for how well you cut these vegetables.
What would
Unless
that
you're
be?
using shape metal.
I think her inclination is to do that, but I feel like she's also wanting to respect her dad's process.
That's why I'm asking.
What should I roll for that?
Probably be agility.
Well, my agility's pretty good. So let's see. A 6.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you do it, and you're looking
Oh,
at these.
wait,
and
no,
you're
I
like,
still have fatigue, so I guess it's a 5.
still a success. Like, yeah, these are pretty good. I think he will actually be able to use these and not
Really?
stress out about it.
That's great.
Excellent.
That's great to hear. He doesn't just want to dump him in a soup or something.
Well done. Oh, he wouldn't pollute his soup with these unevenly chopped. Just kidding.
Yeah, Athena heads on home. She locks up and glares one last time at the Mobius strip.
Open 24 hours.
Kicks a rock in its general direction, but without much vigor behind it.
Sure, vigor -2 right now.
Jeez, you're not kidding.
I'm just kidding. All right, yeah, you can make your way home. It's no trouble. It's very quiet this time. We're not going to be stopped or accosted in any way.
Oh, thank goodness.
We're like, get home and go to sleep.
Once she's inside, though, she says to the general empty room, Thalassica, you good? You don't have to put on the cape or anything. Don't need to robe up, but I got something to ask. She waits a sec to see if there's a beep or a boop.
I think it would take probably 15 to 30 seconds, but then maybe there's that little DOS prompt pops up on a screen somewhere in the apartment.
Which screen?
It's on the microwave.
What does it say?
It's a question mark.
Cool. I don't actually own a computer, so I'm gonna need you to make a Pantheon bid for me for Artemis to meet with Laverna later in this week. Tell her not to leave the city. I got shit to talk about with her. And I'm gonna need some armor too. So if you want to give me the location of a dead drop, if you want to order it, I'm already in so deep. What's some armor?
Do you tell her any specifics about the armor? Let's pretend you're ordering armor because that's what you're doing.
Right.
What are you telling her to get you?
More durable than a wingsuit, because Athena's been getting pretty roughed up in
Okay.
her wingsuit, because she hasn't been winging or suiting, and is still wearing it for some reason. So, something durable, and maybe more in a stealthy vein.
Couple moments go by, and then the microwave LED is just filled with dollar signs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware.
There's another pause, and then the prompt comes across, and it says, I'll put it on your tab.
Oh, I figured. I know this isn't pro bono. I'm gonna get everything paid off. I'm sure.
I think it says one way or another, and then it scrolls off. It just goes
She
left
heats
to
up
right.
some leftovers.
As it's going, just opening.
Just shove some rice and meat in there, and it's gonna be used for its intended purpose now.
Excellent.
Cool. Athena's going to bed.
Okay. And nothing crazy happens overnight, so I think we just cut to the next day. What's your plan? You just gonna go to work and...
Yeah, just going to work.
All right.
I mean, I can't figure we won't get a talking to. And since I'm the most culpable among the culpable, I think Athena specifically is gonna get a talking to. So she's looking forward to that. But on her way, she's gonna just ride it out, go get a paper, and pretend her life is normal for 2 seconds.
Okay. As far as Athena getting to work, we haven't really talked about this yet, but you used to have a motorcycle.
She had a motorcycle, but perhaps it got put in like a storage unit while she was away, and she just hasn't gone to get it back yet.
Okay.
She's just been enjoying walking, I
Sure.
think.
That's fair. So she just hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, she wants
Okay.
it, like, to go. She wants to go get it, but I think she's just been a little preoccupied.
I didn't know if that would have been something that you would have done in that downtime week before going back to work.
I think it might have crossed her mind, but I think in the back of her head, she's just like, I'll just ride in with Pavi.
Okay.
But, you know, Pavi has been off, so...
So you're just walking in or taking the highway or something like that? Mm-hmm. Sure, there's a little corner store you can stop, or maybe just a vendor on the street busking their papers.
Nice, I would like
Extra.
Extra.
Well, the paper is, of course, the Called Chronicle.
Mm-hmm.
And it is made of scribble shrooms.
Glows just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
I
a
forgot
little
about
bit.
that. That's nice. Just a little bit. And on the front page, the headline reads, Protest and Unrest.
I think the wordsmith in her is like, that's a good one.
You skim through the article as you're going. It details the previous day. singles out some causes, specifically growing unrest with the local populace at, some of the changes that are happening in the city, specifically with Bolt Bulig. Now the very recent formation of the Wonderbolts, and your name does also get dropped there as well, Athena Sedaris.
Oh, is it Athena?
I think it's probably your full name, so it would be Deirdre, and then Athena. Well, I guess it would be.
It would just be Deirdre, wouldn't it?
Well, Athena's your middle name?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're not going to be like Bolt middle name Bulig.
Yeah, you're right. It would just be Deirdre Sedaris.
Athena
And
is
it doesn't go into any like wild speculation really. It just sort of is stating facts for the most part. It mentions that shots were fired. They came from unknown sources. There were no casualties, only minor injuries reported. And then I think there are a couple of, maybe 2 like still frame photographs of the scene with the row of Alara security forces in front of people, just to show the scene. And at the end of the article, there is a posed question, which basically says, why were disgruntled citizens gathered in force in such an obscure location in the heart of AlaraCorp's residential district? It says, it seems unlikely that this was a mere flash mob.
Oh.
The article was written by a Slug Stone. That's about all the paper says, just stating facts. As you are making your way in, you also pass a couple of TV monitors that are blasting the news. The TV station is Novi Now of Sato Novi. And you're passing one of the monitors, and you see that it's the news anchor that you've continued to see every time you look back. He looks like a human man with a swoop of brown hair and a suit. Like you're your fucking basic ass TV reporter.
Right, gotcha.
Donovan Reno here with Novi Now. Citygoers were in a panic yesterday after a freak flash mob appeared in the western district near the wall of the city. And it cuts in with images and short, blurry, fuzzy clips that sort of fill the screen as he talks. And it shows the wall of the AlaraCorp security, the mob, things being thrown, fires burning, smoke filling the air, a fleeting shot of Bolt walking onto the scene before it quickly cuts away. And there's a shot of you, Athena, teleporting away from the crowd and towards Bolt before it again cuts away. Regulators on scene declined comment. AlaraCorp security remained on scene to protect all citizens until the regulators managed to get enough officers on scene to contain the incident. Several dozen citizens were arrested during the incident. Minor injuries and no deaths were reported at the time. Now let's have a look at the weather. And it cuts over to almost a maroon skin Nakir man with an equally fabulous swoop of white hair that curls on his head and a very large pearly white smile and glinting yellow Nakir eyes. And this man says, "Wow, thanks for that fantastic summary, Donovan. Today, you could expect some muggier temperature leading right up until drain time, then a cool, crisp afternoon as the fans and sea air get circulated to cool things back down. And if you're feeling hungry, head on down to the Mobius Strip, home of some of the city's finest cuisines, located conveniently in the southeast quadrant."
Dick Richter. Son of a bitch.
And the image on screen shows a blurry map, and it zooms in more on a specific location, and it gets closer and closer, and you realize it is, in fact, the Mobius Strip, right where Escar Glow is. It cuts to a separate video feed of Mobius himself, standing in his restaurant. The camera is facing out onto the street, and Mobius is there with his pale, pallid skin, his bald head, wide-rimmed glasses. He's got a big old smile and his pointed ears. He's kind of looks like a goblin, I guess. But he's smiling at the camera, and Mobius he's on the right side of the screen, and he's taking up maybe like somewhere between a third and a half of the screen. And he's talking, and he's sort of listing all the great things they have and their food and their specials. And in the background of the shot out on the street, we see a disheveled-looking Clint, who is wearing, I think, sweatpants and a sweatshirt, maybe an apron tied around with mussed hair, just sort of shuffling on in slippers, dumping some trash noisily into the garbage, and turns around, yawning, does a big stretch, puts his arms up as Mobius goes on.
Oh, fuck.
And there's like the barest shaking of the camera up and down as this is happening, and Mobius's smile gets wider And it's almost like the noise in the Mobius's words are like white noise at this point because the camera is very clearly trying to budge over to show even more of Clint.
Oh god, those bastards!
And you can also very clearly see in the background of the shop is the not lit up sign for Escar Glow, and the camera does just a very slow zoom in to further showcase Clint and Escar Glow in the background before returning to Mobius, and it ends with, "Come on down and try our Secret Keltis surprise special." And he gives one last shit-eating grin, and then it cuts back to the maroon-skinned Nakir man with the yellow eyes, and he does bear a striking resemblance to Mobius. He gives a too wide smile as his Nakir mouth opens just a little bit extra, but not so far that it's creepy.
Yeah, it's just a big old smile, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The man says, "This has been Dick Richter with your weather and entertainment news. Back to you, Donovan." And it cuts back to Donovan Reno, and he begins to drone on about other goings-on in the city.
Athena's fucking fuming. This is such a character assassination. She's gonna ruin this man.
I want to say it was, for everyone who isn't Athena, who wouldn't immediately recognize what was happening, it was done well enough that it didn't draw all the attention away from Moby. Like,
oh, of course. It's very tastefully, professionally done.
Professionally done, yes. And you'll continue making your way towards the spire.
Fucking Dick Richter. She kicks a stone into the canal. She's just kicking anything. You're so pissed. And I think she's in her uniform at this point. Just angrily kicking stones.
Does Athena have anything? Does Ally Athena have anything to say about Dick Richter?
Athena's so fucking pissed. Because of course Dick Richter is the fucking... Dick Richter and Athena grew up together. Because, you know, his dad owns the fucking place right across the street from her dad. Mm-hmm. So... I think they got along at first, and then he said something wicked rude to Pavi one time, and she just was done with him.
Gotcha.
Done with this piece of shit. So this makes a lot of sense to her, how Escar Glow is very suddenly doing so poorly. This has really cleared something up for her, because she knows her dad does good stuff. Mm-hmm. He makes good food. Mm-hmm. So it was just a puzzle, one of her many puzzle pieces just slotting ominously into place.
You make it through the bustling city, back to the spire to begin your shift. What is your plan of action?
Plan of action is going down to the task force room and hoping to weather out what storm may come.
You go down to the task force room, and regardless of who gets there first, it's going to be you and Zadal and Bolt. Bolt is still dressed in sort of like a hospital gown type outfit.
Oh, jeez.
With, he wouldn't have any bandages or anything because Roja just fixed him up, but I think he's...
I imagine him wearing sunglasses because maybe his eyes are still light sensitive or something.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. So he's in this... Doesn't have a bare ass or anything.
Right.
But just
some hospital
sort of like a scrubs
sort of thing, maybe.
Sort of, yeah, I think maybe some scrubs and some
maybe they
glasses.
didn't have a gown that was big enough for him.
Oh, I like that.
So he
That's
had
funny.
to wear full scrubs. They're like,
funny.
I mean, not normal protocol, but take these, I suppose.
I think that's funny. He's just drinking a big glass of juice.
I imagine him on a couch for some reason. I don't know if the task force room has a ratty old couch.
It sure does now. I mean, I said to imagine it like a break room, like all the other break rooms, and I feel like most good break rooms should have a ratty ass couch.
Yeah, I feel like maybe...
Oh, the stories it could tell.
Yeah. I think it's like that brown kind of tartan corduroy material that like nobody likes to sit on.
Sure.
It's so gross. And maybe one of the legs wobbles.
And Zadal will be dressed in his usual affair of businessy, not full-on suit, but with trench coat.
Yeah. Little rolled up pants.
Yep. Bolt finishes taking a drink and says, "Oh, Sedaris!
How you doing, Bolt?
I'm much more I'm better than yesterday. Thank you."
Good. I was gonna ask, cause you, that was a big old mess, and I'm sorry about it.
Oh,
do you remember a lot?
There were lots of colors, lots of motion. A lot of things became much blobbier.
Blobbier, huh?
A lot of running together.
Well, did they say what was... Did you get your report back?
And he's taking another drink of juice, and he goes, and he points at a stack
She's learned to ask for these kind of things.
a stack of files and papers on the table, and Zadal is leaning against a wall, I think, and just says, yeah, they brought those down, today for review, so should be your blood test results and the further analysis of the autopsy that Dr. Naveen finished yesterday.
Elephant in the room. Athena's feeling real weird about Zadal just being... She kind of thought he would maybe take a day off. So just that he's there is like a little... Not off-putting, but surprising for her.
Yeah, I think he's addressing you less and maybe looking at you less than he did previously. Like, there's definitely still something weird hanging in the air there.
Yeah.
But he's here, and he's focusing on the job, it seems.
Well, then Athena will as well. And she goes over to the files and starts to rummage through them.
Excellent. Okay. The blood results, nothing specific was found in Athena's system. Trace elements of glimmer and the Siku dust, just probably from proximity exposure. Yeah. Bolt appears to have ingested an exceptional quantity of Siku dust in a short period of time, which laid him out, but also should have passed through his system by now, after receiving medical attention and such. He will be heavily fatigued for several days, and he also appears to have exceptionally high blood pressure and dopamine levels.
Huh. So he's feeling good.
Yeah.
Okay, well...
It says
is that an after effect of the drug, or is that just how he lives his life?
It just says he has high blood pressure and dopamine levels.
Oh, man.
Based on the blood test results.
Okay. Did you have high blood pressure before your blood work, Bolt? Do you know?
Continue to catch him while he's drinking juice. Maybe he's just maybe he's just got like a huge fucking several gallon thing of juice in this cup.
Straw.
A crazy straw. God.
Or maybe it was a normal straw, but then he bent it.
He bent it.
And so that's why it's taking him so long to suck through it, because it's just bent.
Oh, Jesus.
But he's having a good time. His dopamine's so high.
Yeah, I think he just blinks at you and shrugs.
Might want to start cutting out some sodium, bud.
I think I've had the same amount of blood my whole life. I don't think that level changes inside you.
Yeah, who's to say? She continues to read.
All right, so
She's not a doctor. She doesn't know enough about blood to refute what he's saying.
All right.
Like, it sounds wrong, but she doesn't know.
It sounds wrong, but I don't know enough to contest it. All right. So you put down the blood test results.
Yeah.
The second is an overview of the autopsy that you left in the middle of it. Well, not in the middle of, but you left while she was doing it yesterday. So what you get from the report is that they were Oleracorp private security. They all came from the surface. They were not recorded as missing persons. They've been dead for 24 hours or less. They had moth poisoning and like Siku dust poisoning in their system. No other toxins except for one had some glimmer. The bag that you confiscated, all the dust and stuff that you found, was glimmer. Specific items of interest. They each died of different weapon wounds, just like puncture wounds. Some of them were shot, some of them were stabbed. One had his throat cut.
But nothing specific.
What do you mean?
Like, not one specific method to off all of them.
No, they've all just been killed by bullets or bladed weapons, it looks like. These people had the same marks on their brains that the first round of people did from the first autopsy, the ones that you caught in the chase. So they have the marks on the brains, but they're not as pronounced. They're barely visible, but still distinct enough to point out and say, yes, these are here. Does that make sense?
Like, if you weren't looking for them, you might miss it, because why would you look in a brain like that?
Right, but knowing what you're looking for, you are able to find it there. The people had explosive residue on them from the same residue as the explosives in the duffel bag.
Okay.
Their shortwave radios that you found all match, and they were able to link them to Oleracorp security assigned to the Golden Lotus Casino. And all targets so far, not just from these, but from the previous one as well, have been Oleracorp employees.
Okay.
And those are sort of all the distinctions made. There are additional notes based on, I assume you handed in just like a summary report of sort of the events.
I mean, she had enough downtime yesterday to write some reports.
So as far as bookkeeping stuff and moving forward, after you do stuff in the field, I'm going to assume that you just like file reports based on what's going on.
Paperwork.
Right. if there's ever a point where you want to omit something from your official report and not mention it, I would like for you to tell me that. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that everybody's going to like know the basics of what happened during your adventure. Additionally, there are notes at the bottom from Roja, and these are handwritten, and it basically says that according to your report, these people had assaulted you and were up and moving and stuff like that, but their time of death was far in advance of that, and that according to your report, they were swarmed with these moths and somehow came back up to life or whatever and attacked you, but that she has there's no biological footprint to indicate that their organs restarted or that they came back to life. There's no biological way they would have been alive to attack you. But one other thing that I'll tie to your revelation card as well.
Oh, okay.
Roja was able to determine a number of specific sites throughout each of their bodies where there are very, very small pinprick punctures in the skin in pairs. So it looks like things were stuck into the skin and she was able to find these wounds on the muscles and the veins and things like that.
Puncture wounds.
And that maybe that was used to control them somehow. So like not very visible to the naked eye, but she was able to find these dual sets of puncture wounds throughout the bodies.
Were they all in like a specific spot or just kind of
they were probably in similar places, let's say surrounding specific muscle groups.
And was it like one puncture per muscle group or one puncture per body?
Muscle group.
Okay.
Multiple puncture wounds throughout the bodies at various muscle groups.
Athena is perplexed by all of this new information, and I think she nods, does a sidelong nod at Zadal and said, "Well, Inquisitor, you want to come inquisit?"
So Zadal comes over and goes over as well and says, "Well, it seems to match up with basically what you said, and I don't know what to make of most of this, you know."
Those puncture wounds, though? Do you think it was the moths biting into them? I don't know if moths have mandibles.
It could have been. I don't know what else it would have been. But there were a lot of moths, and they were covering the bodies, like you said, so it sort of stands to reason that could be a possibility.
Does it say how fresh the puncture wounds were anywhere?
So the puncture wounds would line up with the time frame of you being attacked by these things. Right coinciding, basically.
The moths didn't resurrect them. Were the moths just controlling their muscle groups? Is that why they walked so weird? I don't know.
I've never heard of anything like that before, but...
Why would a moth have a beef? Why would so many moths have the same beef?
Why would a moth have a beef? It sounds like...
It's a kid's
bad
book,
show.
right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Actually, I was about to say like a theater play, like a stage play, but then I thought a children's book is more appropriate. So
yeah. Oh, jeez. I don't know.
I mean, it all feels and seems somewhat outlandish to me, but I don't have anything else to go off of, so. That's what the science says. I believe that Roja did a job, so I'm gonna take it as gospel for now.
Sounds good to me. So they all came from the casino. Could go over there and ask around. I think we would have jurisdiction, considering that's where they're all from. Why would they not report all these missing employees? If they were security specifically, that's shady. They should have reported that.
It's definitely possible. Well, let's think of a couple different options, right? Like it says they've been dead for under 24 hours. So maybe they didn't report them as missing persons. If it was a whole group, maybe they assumed they was off together. Maybe they go out and do a thing. Maybe they go get lunch or something. I don't know. But worst case scenario, they were doing something they weren't supposed to do, and they didn't want to draw attention to it, maybe. Maybe they have plausible deniability, declare them rogues or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
It's worth looking into, though.
Oh, well, we got a lead, and that's something. got a connection. They're all connected to a LairCorp.
And we have that address. You know, the aquaculture side of the city.
That's true.
But I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask someone if we can go over there. I mean, Bolt says you shouldn't go anywhere for a few days, bud.
Oh, well, I can't leave all the heavy lifting to you two.
Well, maybe we can just heavy lift, around the spire for a little bit, right? Do some
Yes, maybe.
researching.
I am excellent at researching.
Oh yeah?
Sure, just looking through things to find things, right?
I think she flops him a file. Go to, man. Research away.
He pulls it out and flops it open and continues to drink his juice as he skims it.
He's feeling useful, and that's what matters.
That's what matters, yeah.
I do think she wants to sit down with Bolt as he's skimming. So, Bolt, I found out yesterday that some of the people in that mob were kind of angry about property damage. And she just lets that hang in the air for a second. Arm over her one arm is over the back of the sofa, just kind of chilling.
I think he's looking at the file
So I was thinking maybe as kind of a...
Fruity.
Oh yeah. As kind of a PR sort of thing, we could maybe you and me go around and fix up some of the damaged shop fronts and stuff. 'Cause taking a picture with 50 people, that makes a lot of people a little happy, but if the two of us went and fixed up a shop, that would make a couple people super happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he looks over at you and
I think it would mean the world to him. Should I roll persuasion or something?
Yeah, let's do persuasion before we get his reaction. Your argument is good. That's a solid way to appeal to him. Trying to get him to do something he doesn't really want to do. But you made a good argument, so I think it'll be a wash.
A wash.
Just do a regular persuasion.
I would like to use a Benny, please.
Okay. 5, okay.
Benny well spent,
Benny well spent, yeah. And you're pitching him this idea, and the gears are working in his head, and he sits there and thinks about it. Well, I'm not much for math, because a lot of people is more than a couple of people. But maybe how much they like it outweighs that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, fixing things is so boring.
Yeah, but that's why I'm there. I can do the heavy metal working and all that stuff.
But then
I'm good at that.
But then, what if you went and did that, and I went and took pictures?
But I think it
Because
would
then we're doing two things at the same time.
That's true,
Sedaris,
but they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know that you were there. You gotta, entertain them a little bit. You're so good at, making people feel good, Bolt.
What if we combine the two? Where we go and we fix a thing up with a couple of people, but then we bring everyone else for the pictures as well.
Maybe we could make a day of it. We'll do a round. We'll start with fixing things, and then maybe we go take a few pictures after. Maybe we could go to the Lotus.
Now we're on to something. The Lotus.
Yeah. You said you're so good at cards. I gotta go over there anyway.
I didn't expect you would want to go there and get cleaned out by me.
I think she genuinely laughs because she's gonna take this fucker for a ride.
Now I have to decide if I want him to actually be good at gambling.
If he's a fucking savant, I'm gonna lose it.
Maybe he does. Maybe numbers is the one thing he understands. So talking.
Does he have any snacks?
Just his juice.
Oh damn! I think she goes over to the little snack counter and grabs some toothpicks and throws them on the floor in front of him. How many toothpicks are there?
I think he looks at you affronted. And okay, so let's start by saying that the break room is much cleaner than it was yesterday.
Did he clean it?
You don't know, but you throw the toothpicks on the ground and he looks down and up at you, and his mouth is open and he looks horrified and says, "Sedaris, this place was just cleaned. I don't know how many there are."
That's all I needed to know. And she does pick them up.
Pick those up, yeah. Pick those up.
She picks them up.
Good.
I think
You can't go throwing wood around everywhere, Sedaris.
That's not a sentence I thought I'd hear today. I think she doesn't want to, like, put him back in the box or on the floor, so she just poofs him with fire.
Oh god.
And just
Blows the ash onto the floor?
maybe into a trash can. Is there a sink?
There's probably a trash can in the sink, sure.
Whichever one's closer.
Alright, as you guys are bullshitting, there is a knock at the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a soft knock.
Come in.
And the door cracks and Silas pokes his head in, looking tired but focused. And he looks around and sees you three there and says, "Oh, good, you all three here. How are things?"
Athena's very tense, and she says, "All things considered, it could be worse. But it could be a lot better, too. So..."
Yes, well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't exactly why I'm here. And, Zadal, I think, just nods to him as he enters, but doesn't say anything. And he addresses the three of you, and, Silas with his longer dark hair bound back in the ponytail. It's gray streaks, and he's got his glasses, and he's mostly clean shaven, but he's got his Vel eyes.
He probably looks sicklier here than he did in his room, because that was dark and orange, and this is, like, I assume, fluorescent lighting that nobody looks healthy
it's
in.
not very
except
flattering.
for probably Bolt. He probably looks fantastic.
He glows. And Silas says, "Well, in light of recent developments, it might be best for you three to lay low for a few days, catch up on paperwork, stick to a light training regimen, Bolt, at the very least. And, if you are going out somewhere, don't draw attention to yourself."
Sounds like a plan to me.
And he looks at each of you for a long beat individually, just sort of waiting to see if there's any major reactions.
I mean, this is pretty much what Athena was expecting. It's gone a little better than she was hoping so far. I think she does interject, so we'll just hang out here for a few days. We did find an address. I know we were confined more to the Alara section of the city, but it is on the aquaculture front on the eastern side of the city, and we would like to check that out with permission, if that's cool.
Yeah, he wrinkles his nose a little bit and readjusts his glasses and says, "Well, as long as it's only you, perhaps you and one of your compatriots, that is not Bolt. Bolt needs bed rest and relaxation, and to not be out in the city right now."
So me and Zadal got it.
That would suffice.
Okay. Does Bolt bristle at that at all?
I think Bolt is still engrossed in his juice and
reading.
And reading, yes.
Good for him.
Silas pauses and looks between the three of you before his gaze rests on Zadal, and he says, "Yes, Zadal, if you could be so kind as to stop by my office later. I have some things I need to check in with you on." Zadal, who is over on leaning against the wall with arms crossed, looks a little surprised at this, but doesn't waste any time before saying, sure. Whatever you need, Marculus."
Not suspicious at all. Nailing it.
I think Silas does watch him a moment longer and then just nods and lets it go. Zadal, maybe he shifts a little bit and adopts a folded arms sort of posture. Bolt's just sort of nodding, going along with it. His eyes are still on the file, so he's sort of halfway in between. Maybe he wrings his hands together and says, "Well, good. Athena, would you mind speaking with me in the hall for just a moment?"
Yeah, sure.
And opens the door and heads back
She's
out.
sweating fucking bullets. Oh, man.
Okay. So you follow him out of the hall.
Yeah.
Close the door. Alright, he walks a little bit, like, away from the door. And said she's sweating bullets, so she looks, like, visibly uncomfortable
Probably.
right now.
I think she's wringing her hands a bit.
And he looks at you and says, "Are you alright?"
It's yesterday was kind of real stressful, and I'm just really worried about walking around with Bolt in general.
Yes, I can certainly understand the trepidation.
Yeah.
Athena, if you need anything else, please make sure you come to me in the future, so the delegate can focus on other matters.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No apologies necessary.
She asked me if the other day if there was anything I needed, let her know, and I guess that was just fresher in my head, maybe. I'm sorry.
You say that. Roll me a notice at -2. You can Benny that.
Yeah. God damn it. I rolled a 2 every time.
Oh, you're not fatigued anymore, by the way.
I know.
All right.
It's still 2s.
Sorry. All right. You say that, and he nods in understanding, and he says, "Yes, of course, I understand. It was requested that this be the arrangement."
Requested?
Yes, it was requested that this be the arrangement.
Me coming to you first.
Yes, that's correct.
Who requested it?
And I think he tilts his head a bit at you and quirks an eyebrow. "Yes, it has been decided that I will be serving as your, I don't think liaison or overseer is the correct terminology, but you'll still be operating independently, but I'll be keeping a closer eye on things."
Well, I'm sure we'll be glad of the guidance from, every now and again, because this all happened very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And he gives a slight smile. It's a little pinched, and he says, "Yes, quite. Is everything else going well?"
It
And
seems
he's very focused on you right now.
Right. She doesn't care for that very much right now.
Mhm.
I mean, it's going as well as it could after inciting a mob by accident, so I'm just kind of mentally days ahead now trying to do damage control. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, we'll do what we can.
Is there anything you need me to do specifically?
If something comes up, I will be sure to let you know, but otherwise I think you can certainly find ways to fill the time efficiently.
Of course.
Good. Well,
Silas, was it my grandfather who decided? I'm meeting with him at a later time, and I'd like to know if he's been meddling in my things.
I think he blinks at you in surprise and says, "Your grandfather does what?"
I don't know,
Your grandfather doesn't have any jurisdiction with the regulators.
No, I know. Reach just made me... Doesn't matter. I think she smiles sheepishly.
Just keep at it.
Sure will. Athena would like to possibly cast empathy.
Go for it.
How's a 9
A
treat
9. Success with a raise. Okay. You're peering at him to use your empathy ability to get a read on his aura. And I think while you're doing... It's just you guys in this hallway. So he's kind of doing the same. He's looking at you too. And you're just sort of like squinting at each other across in there. And his aura fades in, and it's the same pensive blue that it was in the past. There are larger pockets of brighter colors like orange and yellow. I think there's definitely some unease and suspicion as he's looking at you. There's like one turbulent corner of the aura. It's moving faster independently of everything else. It's just very hectic and ever-changing, but it doesn't match the clouded pattern. There's no distinct color that would match anything you've seen before that would alarm you. But mostly what you get from him right now is suspicion and unease.
Yeah, checks out, huh? Athena is extremely suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
At all times, almost.
Mm-hmm.
I think she breaks this tense, very stressful silence and says, there is something I did need help with.
Oh? What is that?
Something weird happened the other day. So I was looking for my file, like my regulator file, because I don't know, I've just been thinking about Joel a lot because he's the only person I really haven't been able to reconnect with since coming back, so he's not here. So there was just a really good picture of us in there, and I just really wanted to see it, but my file's gone? So that's super weird, because I don't think did it get shelved somewhere else while I was gone?
Go ahead and make your persuasion roll with your +2. It's going to be a net -2.
Well, it's a 2, I guess.
He listens and he's sort of nodding to you as you say that, and he puts a hand on his chin and scratches at his stubble, and he's sort of looking off into the distance, creased eyebrows, and then shakes his head and says, "Well, that's certainly out of the ordinary. I'll be sure to ask around, see if maybe one of the other heads of department might have taken it out to have a look through for some reason, but unorthodox. Out of the ordinary, to be sure."
Yeah, it was just weird, a weird thing to find out, you know?
Yes, and how did this come to your attention?
I went down to go, look at it in the records room, because I was looking for, the old picture and the case files and stuff. And it wasn't there.
Go ahead and roll me a persuade again. Same thing.
With the same dice.
Same dice,
even.
yep.
So if they have a -2 overall, does that still make it a crit fail if it was 3s but now is 1s?
It does not.
Oh, thank
No,
God.
it's only when you naturally roll 2 1s.
Cool.
Is when it matters. He nods to you, and then after another moment of waffling, shrugs and says, "Well, I will add that to my list of things I need to look into." And he looks very tired when he says this. He's got heavy bags under his eyes, and
Yeah.
he's doing his best to keep a pleasant expression on, but it's sort of one of those, like, wonderful.
Yeah.
Just throw it on there. It's great.
Is she, close enough she could, give him a friendly pat on the shoulder?
Sure.
I think she gives him, a little friendly shoulder pat and says, "Yeah, don't worry about it. If it's you've got more important things. Don't worry about it."
Make me a notice at
Notice.
+2.
I got a 7.
Ooh, very nice. Okay.
Thank God I've done something that worked.
You reach your hand out to put it on his shoulder. In the midst of this motion, as it's happening, and you're putting your hand down, there is almost an imperceptible shift in his body language, and he tenses up, and he starts to pivot his body to move away from your hand, and then stops himself. And if you're looking at his eyes, you notice that they widen just a little bit, and his pupils dilate. All this
Oh.
happens at once, but he stops himself, and then you pat him on the shoulder, and
I think if she saw that, though, she wouldn't.
it's I think it's something where you don't have time to react to it. It's as you're doing it, this is what
Gotcha.
happens.
I think she pats him and just withdraws very quickly,
Mhm.
with kind of holding her hand in front of her chest, looking very instantly regretful.
Okay, yeah, and you do that, and he his expression clears almost right away, and he shakes his head and says, "My apologies. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I get that.
I should go. Tell Zadal to I'll see him later."
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't think he would have forgotten. He's much more on it than me.
And there's another strained smile and nod, and he turns to begin walking away, and pauses and turns back to you again and says, "Be careful out there."
She nods.
He nods and turns to leave. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with Bolt and Zadal while you're here?
I think they're just tumbling around this new info they have. Maybe she's doing some light calisthenics with Bolt to see, with her own eyes, if he's physically good to do
Sure.
things.
He seems fine
Okay,
physically.
that's
I mean,
good.
he's tired, so he isn't very energetic when you ask him to do physical things, and probably gets fed up with it pretty quick. And
That's fair.
he's in good shape. He just doesn't want to do it.
Right.
I think Zadal will say, "Anything you want me to try to dig up? Anything you want me working on? Or are we just sort of doing free for all here?"
There are a lot of different rabbit holes to fall down with this new set of info. I mean, we're gonna have to go to the Lotus at some point, but we can't do that for a couple days, so let's just sit on that. Maybe we could do some research into brains and Corey, but I don't know, because Roja said she never seen anything like this, and she's pretty abreast of all the medical things, I would assume.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Alright, well, let's keep our heads down and see what we can dig up.
Maybe just flash forward from there to the end of the day after you guys have spent time looking through or researching or being busy.
I think towards the end of the day, she's still feeling weird about where she left stuff with Zadal the night prior, so I think she maybe taps him on the shoulder very tentatively and is like, if you got a sec, can we talk privately?
He quirks a metal eyebrow at you, but shrugs and says, yeah, sure. You want to step into the hall or something?
Yeah, I mean, we could.
Oh, okay. And he gets up from the table and Bolt watches you two go and says, let a hallway talk today.
I gotta go get some food. Do you want anything?
Oh no, I'm supposed to stick to juice for now.
She had wondered about the juice, so...
He keeps drinking. You guys step into the hall and walk a few feet away, probably where you and Silas talk. And Zadal just sort of quirks the same eyebrow and says, you wanted to talk or something?
Yeah, now I'm feeling kind of silly because I don't think we probably shouldn't here, you know.
Oh,
I don't know where my brain's at, man.
And he says, yeah, hold on a second.
His eyes kind of glow a little brighter, and he reaches out a middle finger and touches your circlet, and you can feel a presence sort of pushing in.
She'd let it down.
There's a moment of pause, and you hear a voice inside your head, and it's Zadal.
Yeah, is this better for you?
This is super convenient.
Yeah, well, surprise.
It's definitely handy. I didn't expect it, though, maybe. I probably should have, though. Huh?
I mean, not everybody can do it. Not all psionics are the same.
Yeah,
What's up?
I just felt I had some time to decompress, and, I'm not very good at talking, right? Is that an apparent thing about me?
Sometimes, I guess.
Cool. I just, I was real scared that if I was gonna, just talk to you about the stuff from last night, that I would have said something very wrong and you would have just, bailed immediately, and kind of I just wanted to sort of explain where I'm at now that I've had a cooldown period.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why you did what you did, and I don't know what a better way would have been to present that specific material, I guess.
Here's the thing, I didn't want to involve anybody but myself, but as soon as Bolt was like, hey, I'm gonna get that guy on the team, he kind of put you in my immediate danger blast zone, and if I didn't tell you this stuff, you could end up dead maybe? So do you see where I'm coming from?
Sure, very selfless of you.
Well, I don't know if it's selfless, but I don't want more people to die because of stuff I'm doing.
Well, I would certainly like to know the likelihood of impending death. So I do appreciate being cognizant and aware of that, rather than, you're not saying anything and me just... I mean, I guess I'd be dead, so it wouldn't matter and I wouldn't care anymore, but... I get it. I mean, ain't nothing you could say to make it better right now, so...
Yeah, I know. I'd say I'm sorry, but I know it won't matter.
I mean, I've been in your head, so I understand that you are conceptually sorry that you would have to, put someone in a bad position, but you're not sorry that you gotta do it. I get it, so... Moving on.
Moving on, cool. Shit, I guess we just call it a day, huh?
Oh, that was it? Just...
Yeah,
thought you were gonna do some explanation about...
No.
Where you at?
That's kind of where I'm at. It's just I'm sorry, and I wish I didn't have to have done it.
Apology accepted, I guess. I mean, I got nothing. I don't despise you as a human being or nothing.
You're one of the first. Silas is being weird in the hall earlier.
Yeah, what did he say to you?
Yesterday I asked Rasmus about some stuff, and he found out, and he said that anything I need should go through him, and that it was decided, but he didn't say by whom. I did a little probing, asking if maybe it was handed down from my grandfather on the council, and he was kind of like surprised about that, so it looks like probably not that, but we'll see, I guess.
Well, I mean, we know he did something to your head.
Yeah.
So it would stand to reason that if you were going to talk to Rasmus and he didn't like that, there's a reason that he wants you to only go through him. So probably related to that, I would think.
Do you think he's worried that outside contact will like jog something? Do people just not go and talk to Rasmus and Reeds? That seems like they have to, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, they're still doing their job. There's nothing weird about the schedules, nothing like that. You're not wrong. I mean, if people had their heads messed with, if you had your head messed with, sometimes you can remember what happened, to pull the memories out, and something like that, but it usually takes a trigger. Something specific that doesn't make sense, or the harder they gotta think about whatever it was that was changed, the more likely it is that they'll see through it or past it, or we don't know what's going on with him, right? So we don't know if he changed a memory or took something or put some sort of weird mental order issue. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. And it's the same situation where what I'm doing for you and trying to break through that could be going on for all the rest of them. I don't know. It's a lot.
I have to wonder if he's suspicious of me. Wouldn't it just be easier to have just offed me when I got back to the city?
I mean, maybe. You're also a well-known person of interest, in the city's political structure based on who you know and who you've been related to, all that good stuff. And you'd already come back to the city and your presence was noted and on record, so making you disappear after you've been gone for 7 years is sort of draw a lot of attention, be pretty suspicious, piss off a lot of people. So I don't know any more than you do, Athena.
I
I
think
can only guess at motivations based on things that I don't know about the person.
I'm pretty sure I'm on this task force to be killed. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Well, given that we don't really know anything else, it's probably a safe thing to say you should always have your guard up. That's as much for regulators as anybody, but especially you.
Especially me.
I mean, I guess me. And everyone else that's involved. We need more people. We need more people we can trust.
Do you have any suggestions? I know like 2 people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really trust anybody, so... You got your friends already roped in. You mentioned your friend Tuka.
Yeah.
You might, I might have an idea, but it's a little different. Oh, let me look into that more.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry to be cryptic. It didn't really.
How enigmatic of you.
I don't want to say nothing else until I can get a better beat on it, and sort of how likely that is as a possibility.
I found Laverna, kinda.
Oh, how's that?
How much of the surface stuff did you retain? Did you flip through?
Oh, bits and pieces. I mean, I wasn't at it for too long last night. I only got the broad strokes, the initial thing that you wanted me to see, what with, Joel
Yes.
and all that, and then, bits and pieces from the surface. Basically everything that shows that you want a slave. So I know you want a slave, and then, some bits from the last week or so.
Well, not a slave, did start a business. A mercenary type band, sort of an online thing. It's pretty convenient across the belt, but she was a member of it, so I'm kind of like a co-founder, so I just arranged to have a meeting with her next week.
That's...
So...
That seems pretty useful.
It does seem pretty useful.
So you got a whole band of mercenaries that you beck and call?
Not where...
Get a lot of mercenaries down here, we clean house, something like that?
I mean...
I'm just kidding, don't do it. That's a terrible idea.
Well, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a last resort I'd considered.
Oh, that'd be the day.
But, you know, that's kind of a last-ditch sort of idea that I don't really want to do.
Sure.
But it's good to know what your options are. But yeah, I'm gonna meet up with her and, see why the fuck she was actually here, because she'll have to tell me or I'm gonna fire her.
Well, I'm sure that would be a very interesting conversation to be on a fly on the wall for.
Probably will
But
be.
yeah, let me know what comes of that.
I will. Ah, shit. I think Silas thought I was gonna hurt him. I just want to pat him on the shoulder. I probably wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't so amped up at the time, but he definitely was, I don't know. That's suspicious, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's, Alright, well, if we move forward with the assumption that it was the Oculus that did, something in your head, we don't know why. We don't know what it is that he changed or took or put there or whatever. If he hasn't moved against you, and if he's willing to be in close proximity with you, but also afraid that you're going to attack him, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe he's just jumpy?
Maybe, he seems real tired.
Yeah, it's been that way for a little while now.
Just a little while?
It's gotten worse over time, he took over for Davith back in, I don't know, again, before my time, but...
But since you've known him?
Since I've known him, he just gets more tired, He's just a little bit more on edge. I don't know if I'd say hanging by a thread necessarily, but he ain't looking too good.
I mean, it's a hard job messing with my brain.
Yeah.
So I can't have too much sympathy on that matter. But I get it.
Understandable. I wouldn't ask you to necessarily. But he wants to go over things with me, which I really got no idea what he could possibly be wanting to bring to my attention. So
He probably wants to ask if I've been doing anything reckless and suspicious.
to which I will answer yes constantly.
I mean, you could. It wouldn't be lying.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play this real easy, because one false step here and we're basically screwed. I mean, we're already screwed. We've established that. We're screwed.
Yeah.
Screwed beyond all means. But this could be bad. So I guess I'm gonna go see him, because why not?
Yeah.
Can't really dodge it. Can't avoid it forever, and yep. So it's been nice knowing you. But in all seriousness, if he is the adversary here, then there's a very good chance I ain't walking out of there. And there's a very good chance that if I do anything but go talk to him, other bad things could happen. I don't know if he's in other people's heads. I don't know what triggers he's put there. I don't know what kind of defense mechanisms he's got. If it's just me, just let it happen. Because you still know. There's still other people out there. Don't blow it over this, okay? Forget it. I wasn't asking you. I'm telling you, don't do something stupid and blow your whole hand when you don't even know what cards you're holding. It's too bad Bolt's not here. He'd really like the card talk.
Oh, he's good at cards, apparently. I wish I had a table I could kick, but I'm in my brain.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
brains
in a
are done.
hallway.
Yeah, brains are done that way. If you want to kick the air, ain't nothing you to kick. I get it. It's hard, it's weird, but that's how it is right now. So...
Do you want me to wait for you? I can do that. I can just wait.
What do you mean, wait?
I don't know. I can, outside of the office, we're going off to do stuff after. Do you want me to be there? Just hanging?
I think that if you are there waiting for me, it's going to be even more suspicious. And if he's feeling threatened, then he is more likely to shoot first and ask questions later. He is the Oculus, one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful psionic in the city. He can literally peel open your brain like an onion. I mean, I don't know how else to put this to you, Athena. If he wants to ruin you, he will. And there's not much you can do about it. Except maybe a brain thing. Maybe you're okay. I don't know. We've been talking about this for too long already. It's more likely that I'm gonna go in there and he's gonna do something to my head. So, you know what to look for.
Yeah, I do.
Make sure you check me.
I will.
And if for some reason I'm missing gaps of information or something like that...
Well, I know what we've talked about, and I know what I've shown you, but that's really all I can look for.
That'll have to do. Well, it's been horrible, in the brief time we've had here.
Yeah.
But, if I walk out the other side, hopefully it'll still be me. Brains are funny. You take away a couple of linchpins, everything falls apart. I never really had that fear of death. Probably not the same way you people do. But
I always assumed it was in some ways a more organic variety of fear.
I wouldn't know. This is all I got.
Yeah.
And I think Zadal taps his own head, and it makes a clinking noise in the empty, silent hallway. And I think after he does that, Zadal begins taking steps further away down the hallway. And he pauses and he stops and turns around and looks over his shoulder, even though you guys are having a mental conversation.
Don't give up.
You either.
Thanks.
Turns and walks away, and there's the small metallic clinks of his metal feet as this tiny, tiny man walks away down the hallway.
Her eyes are trained on him, listening for his footsteps until she can't anymore. Staying right there.
There's a very narrow shot of the hallway, and we have Athena in the foreground and Zadal walking into the background towards the doorframe that leads into the stairwell going up. We see Zadal reach into his pocket and pull out his small pack of crystals. There's a tinkling as they rattle around, and he pulls one out, slots it into his vent, pauses in the doorway to look back. There's one last shot of the energy sparking through the crystal and lighting up the darkness behind him before he turns and walks through it. Thank you for listening to this episode of Neon Heat. Savage Worlds is owned by the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, and you can find them and their products online at peginc.com. You can find our website at rpgforyouandme.com, where we update weekly with new episodes, character art, and bios. Neon Heat features the music of the very talented Crockett, who you can find at crockett.bandcamp.com and on Twitter at Crockett80s. We're on Twitter at rpgforyouandme, and Allie is at UCTheHat, where she posts art from the show. Allie also runs a side campaign for me that's available to our Patreon members, and you can find us there at patreon.com/rpgforyouandme. Any support means the world to us, and it makes it easier to make a quality episode every week for you. If you like the show, the best way to support us is to leave a 5-star rating and review, but even more importantly, tell a friend about us. If you're looking for more Savage Worlds content, please check out Sounds Like Crows. It's an actual play Deadlands Reloaded podcast about 5 brothers on a quest for revenge in the supernatural Wild West. The cast is outstanding, and the audio and editing quality is cinematic and top-notch. The game marshal, Caleb Sunstead, is extremely talented and dedicated. They just started their 4th season, so there's plenty to catch up on. With all that out of the way, thank you again for listening. We know there are a lot of podcasts out there, so it means the world that you spent a little bit of your day with us. See you next week.